Hello, friend of karmic affinity. Have you ever felt exhausted and worn out, even though you didn't do any heavy physical work that day? That tiredness doesn't come from a lack of sleep. It comes from a mind that never agrees to rest. You lie down in bed, but your mind keeps replaying an unintentional remark from someone. You worry whether you've been misunderstood, or you are straining yourself to please everyone around you. We often take pride in being caring people who live for others. But try to pause for a beat, take a deep breath, and ask yourself a question that could change your life. What if the real problem isn't that you care too little, but that you are placing your concern in the wrong place? Today, I am not here to teach you to be heartless or to ignore life. I want to invite you into a different journey. It is a quieter way of living where you can still love deeply, but no longer have to carry unnecessary burdens on your shoulders. Let us learn the art of a light heart together. Why does overcaring drain your energy? My dear friend, we often mistakenly believe that the world out there is too noisy and complex, and that difficult people or adverse circumstances are the reasons we are exhausted. But try looking deep inside for a moment. The truth is not that the world makes you tired. It is your reaction to the world that is eroding your energy every day. Look back and see how much mental effort you waste on unconscious reactions every day. A casual remark from a colleague keeps you thinking all afternoon. A strange look from a passerby makes you wonder if something is wrong with you. And scariest of all are the silences. When someone doesn't reply to a message, or a loved one suddenly becomes quiet, your mind immediately becomes a talented screenwriter, weaving thousands of tragic stories in your head, that they are angry with you or that you did something wrong. It is these unreal stories that are the 1,000-pound burdens weighing on your heart. In the wisdom of Buddhism, the mind is likened to the surface of a lake. When the lake is still, it reflects the sky, white clouds, and scenery truthfully and clearly. But when you constantly throw in stones of speculation, anxiety, and overreaction, the water becomes violently agitated. Then, every reflected image becomes distorted and shattered. You no longer see things as they are. You only see your own fear. Why can a trivial matter drain your strength so much? It is because deep inside, our ego always craves validation. We care too much because we fear being denied. We always carry a hidden expectation that if I am good to them, they must understand me, they must appreciate me. And when reality does not unfold that way, disappointment drowns us. But friend, to find peace again, we cannot force the whole world to stop throwing stones into the lake. The only way is to learn how to let the surface settle itself. Therefore, the practice of liberation does not start by forcing yourself to be silent or unfeeling. It starts by creating a space. The sacred pause between stimulus and reaction. My dear friend, the greatest secret to finding peace again does not lie in trying to change the outside world, nor in forcing yourself not to feel sad or angry. That secret lies in creating a sacred pause, exactly between what happens and your reaction. Normally, we live like pre-programmed machines with lightning-fast reflexes. When a phone shows a message has been seen, but there is no reply, an immediate surge of anxiety urges you to text again to check. When someone offers a slightly jarring criticism, a defense mechanism immediately kicks in, making you want to argue to protect yourself. Even an accidental cold look is enough to sink you into speculation. We react so fast that we forget we have the right to choose. The most important practice I want to invite you to test starting today is learning to recognize that urge but not acting on it. When an uncomfortable emotion wells up, do not rush to speak, do not rush to explain, and do not rush to type. Simply pause and observe the energy swirling inside your body. Now reacting immediately creates a precious space for wisdom to speak. Next time, When an event or someone triggers a hurt in you, instead of looking outward and blaming, asking, "Why did that person hurt me?" turn inward and ask yourself a deeper question. What belief or fear inside me was just threatened? Is it the fear of abandonment, or the belief that I am not important enough? When you shift the direction of the question from the external object to the inner self, you immediately regain mastery. Please engrave in your heart that choosing to let go of an immediate reaction is absolutely not a sign of weakness or submissiveness. On the contrary, it is the manifestation of profound inner strength and powerful self-control. You no longer let circumstances pull your strings like a puppet. You choose silence to understand instead of noise to win. When you have the ability to stand firm and observe the storm in your heart without being swept away, that is, when you touch the true freedom of a liberated soul. Letting go of expectations, not the heart. My dear friend, when we talk about the art of caring less, perhaps a vague fear will spark in your heart. You fear that if you let go, you will become cold, unfeeling, or lose connection with your loved ones. But please be at ease, because this fourth lesson will help you clearly distinguish between love and the subtle attachment called expectation. Try to look deep into your sorrows in relationships. The truth is, we rarely suffer because of the actions of others. We suffer because of the scripts in our own heads. We suffer because of words like should have or ought to be. You think your partner should have understood you. Your children should have listened to you, or that friend should have been grateful to you. It is the gap between the unfolding reality and the beautiful expectation in your head that produces disappointment. Expectation is like a rough rope you are trying to use to bind others to your will. The tighter you pull that rope, the more your hands burn, and the person bound also feels suffocated, wanting to struggle to get free. Imagine your love or concern is like a balloon. An expectation is the string holding that balloon. If you hold on too tight, you will always live in fear of the balloon flying away. Your mind is stressed. Your hands are tired. But if you dare to loosen your hand, letting the balloon drift with the wind, it is still there, beautiful and free. But you no longer have the burden of control. Buddhism teaches us about a form of non-clinging love. That is when you care about someone simply because you want what is good for them, not so they can meet your need for recognition. You still listen. You still help. You are still fully present, but you no longer impose that they must react the way you want. I want to give you a key sentence to serve as a compass for this practice. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop demanding. You stop demanding the world to operate according to your will. You stop demanding others to be the perfect version you've drawn up. When you can let go of the burden of expectation, your heart does not close at all. On the contrary, it becomes more open, lighter, and capable of loving others most truthfully, accepting them as they are, not as who you want them to become. That is the true freedom in relationships. You are the observer, not your thoughts. My dear friend, after learning to let go of expectations of others, we need to take a final and most important step of letting go. Letting go of the identification with the noise in our own heads. There is a simple, but immensely liberating truth we often forget. You are not your thoughts. Imagine your mind as a deep, vast, and still blue sky. As for those anxious thoughts, those judgments, or that remorse, they are merely dark clouds drifting across that sky. Clouds can be pitch black. They can bring lightning and storms, but clouds are never the sky. No matter how big the storm is, it cannot wet or hurt the inherent clarity of the sky behind it. You are that vast sky, the containing space, not those temporary weather phenomena. We often suffer because we believe every voice echoing in our head is the truth about us. When a fearful thought appears, we rush to conclude, I am a weakling. When an angry thought rises, we believe I am a bad-tempered person. But try changing the way you talk to yourself starting today. Instead of saying I am anxious, gently observe and say, anxiety is present. Instead of saying, I am suffering, say the mind is telling a sad story. This small change in language creates a massive safety distance. You separate yourself from the flow of thought. You become the listener, the witness, rather than the participant in that tragic play. Just as the ocean tolerates waves on the surface, but remains still in its deep depths, you too can observe every emotion, come and go without needing to be swept away by them. When you realize you are not your thoughts, the psychological burden will automatically fall away, returning to you an infinite sense of relief and freedom. My dear friend, closing today's journey, I want to leave you with a gentle reminder that you do not need to try to fix your entire life or become a completely different person immediately. Peace does not require noisy revolutions. It starts from the quiet acts of letting go every day. Just start from the smallest things. Carry fewer emotional burdens that do not belong to you. Have fewer hasty reactions to the unintentional words of others. And most importantly, have less of the weary waiting for others to understand you. When you have less of those things, joy and ease will naturally find a place to fill. Always remember this image is a solid anchor for your soul in stormy days. You are not the storm. You are the vast and quiet space that allows the storm to pass through. The storm may be noisy, but the space is always peaceful and immutable. If the sharing in this video has brought you a bit of relief or a mental anchor, please sow a seed of commitment to yourself by leaving a comment below. Write, today, I choose to let go. Or simply, I return. When you write those words down, you are sending a signal to the universe that you are ready to live a lighter and freer life. Thank you for listening and trusting. May you always keep the clarity of the lake and the tolerance of the sky in your heart. Goodbye, and see you in the next healing stories. Would you like me to focus on a specific area, such as a script for the sacred pause practice, to help you apply this more easily to your daily life?